Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Karina, aka OMG Lashes, and today we are talking about the crazy, the hyped, I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. The Anastasia Subculture Palette. Now, if you have been living under a rock, which I don't think anybody is, this was just released a few days ago, and let me tell you, girl, that I was on this so quick. I fell in love with the palette when I first saw it, and I knew that I had to have it in my collection as soon as it released. So I did go ahead and purchase this with my own money. Now, if you are a fanatic of YouTube, then you might have seen this palette floating around already, and to be honest with you, I am very nervous to test it out because all the reviews that I've seen are nothing but negative, and I typically don't like to watch reviews before I give you my own because I don't want anybody else's opinion to influence mine. I'm just going to go in this palette with a clear mind. I'm not going to think of anybody else or what I've heard, what I've seen. I'm just going to give you the raw opinion that is mine, and I am still hoping that this palette is going to work, to be honest. So this is what the palette looks like. We are getting 14 colors. There is one repeat, which is Fudge. Now, the number one thing that I've heard a lot of people complaining is that this palette has a ton of kickback. I personally don't care as much for kickback because if the palette and the product is good, I can see past that. The Sephora Pro palette has a ton of kickback, but the quality in the shadows, the blendability, and just the pigmentation is so amazing that I can totally just see past the kickback from those shadows. I want to do some quick swatches here. I'm not going to swatch too many, but I just want you guys to see and get a nice opinion on somebody that is more darker skin. I'm first going to go into Adorn, which is this one right here. They feel really creamy, just like the Anastasia ones. So that is Adorn. It's swatched really nicely. I don't see any fallout yet. Well, actually, there's a little bit right here, but not too much. I'm really tempted to go into this electric palette, or not electric palette, electric shadow. So it's like a pretty, like an avocado green, it kind of reminds me of. Now I'm going to go into the matte ones, which I'm really nervous about because, again, I've seen so many mixed reviews. So let's first take All Star, which is this one right here. Super pigmented. That is All Star. I don't see any kickback with my fingers, but now I'm going to go in with a brush, and I'm actually just going to use the one that comes with this palette, which is the standard Anastasia little brushes. I actually really like these, so I'm just going to swatch. Let's see, I'm going to swatch Axis. Okay, so I am not getting as much kickback as I thought I would. So this is Axis on my arm right now, and it is actually blending out pretty decent. Again, I am not getting a ton of kickback. Let me switch brushes and try. This is one of my favorite brushes at the moment. It's from Colso Sense. Now, I've seen that Roxy has been a big issue, which is a beautiful peach, like a coral color. So let's see if we get any kickback from her. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of products on the actual brush, and there is some kickback, but not a ton, not like I've been seeing. So now I'm using a little bit more force, and I can definitely see the kickback happening now. Let me go ahead and get started with this makeup look, and girl, cheers, because I don't know how this is gonna turn out. So ooh, bottoms up. I really want to use the green electric shade, so I will find a way to incorporate it. But first, I'm going to start with New Wave. The kickback is definitely happening now. I hope you guys can see that. There's so much pigment on my brush. I'm going to tap it off. Can you guys see how much is just flying away? Always keep in mind that the area where you first apply your shadow, that is where you're going to have the most pigmentation. So if you want it more on the outer corner, apply it there. I've been starting my eyeshadows in the center of my lid, just right here, and then blending them out. This is definitely pigmented, which I think everybody can agree on, that these shadows are pigmented. So that is New Wave on the eyes. I didn't have any trouble with blending whatsoever. It blended really nicely, just like the other Anastasia palettes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Destiny. Destiny is a really pretty like army green. Ooh, mama, I forgot to dust off my brush. So as you guys can see, there is so much kickback right there on that shade that I'm using. This one as well is blending out to be pretty well. I know that some people were having issues where you applied the product to an area and it would just grab onto that area and not blend out. I am luckily not having that issue. I'm going to continue to blend and reapply the color as needed. I really want to go into the deeper shades because again, those are the ones that people were just really annoyed with. So we are going to test Rowdy. That one actually doesn't have a lot of fallout and there is a ton on the brush. So let's see how well it goes onto the actual eyes. Okay, but there is a lot of fallout on my cheek. So I'm just going to tap it off really quick. So as you can see, this is definitely a little bit deeper than this side. And again, blended really nicely onto the eyes. I don't see any patchiness or any streakiness going on. So I don't know if there is a certain amount of people that maybe got a bad batch. I really haven't been keeping up with the Anastasia Instagram page to check it out and see if they have announced anything that some people got a bad batch. If you guys know anything like that, please share them in the comment section down below so other people can be aware. But so far, the only thing that I really have to complain about is the kickback, but that's about it. Now I'm gonna go in with Electric. Now I'm going to use this shade as I would normally use it with any other shimmer shade, which is I usually wet my brush or I use it with glitter glue. That is just my personal preference, how I always and will always do it. I am going to just pick it up with a normal flat brush to see how well it does on its own without me wetting my brush. So there it is on the brush, and it definitely has some kickback. So I'm going to apply it. Okay, that was really pigmented. I was not expecting that whatsoever. So as you can see, that is very pigmented without me wetting my brush. So now I am going to wet the brush and go back in, pick up a little bit more. I feel like the consistency is pretty much the same with either the wet brush or the dry brush. Now I'm going to go back with Destiny, which is again that's olive green. I was going to say Olive Garden. Olive color. And we are going to apply it to the outer crease. To be honest with you, and in no way am I trying to kiss ass to Anastasia. Anastasia doesn't even know who I am. She doesn't know I exist. So this is just me being raw and me telling you my honest opinion as a beauty influencer, as a personal shopper at Anastasia, and just as a girlfriend to girlfriend. I don't see why this palette is getting such negative feedback. I can definitely see why people are mad over the kickback that it's having, because it can definitely be annoying that so much product is falling out. But other than that, I feel like everything so far for me is blending out very well. My makeup is complete, and to be honest with you, I could not be happier with the outcome of this look. I absolutely love it. Even though I'm not a big fan of greens on my eyes, but I just love the color green. I'm going to show you really quickly what the palette looks like now that I'm done with it. I'm going to show you the kickback amount that is on this palette, which is pretty crazy, but again, it's nothing that is stopping me from using this palette. So that is what it looks like. As you can see, there's definitely some kickback, but I don't know what happened where everybody else is hating this palette and I actually really like it. So I hope I helped some of you make your decision of whether to buy this palette or not. You know, just take it with a grain of salt and purchase this palette at your own risk. It worked for me. I don't know why it hasn't worked for anybody else, but again, you know, I don't know, it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial and this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe before you leave, and I will catch you in my next video. So stay tuned. Love you, chicas.